Hello YouTube. I just wanted to do a quick review today on my Dolphin Premier robotic pool cleaner. I've had this unit for about a month and a half, just about going on 2 months. Purchased this just about the end of May, and now it's July 20th, and I've been very happy with it. So I wanted to give you some insights on what you'll be getting if you purchase this unit. I use it in a in-ground pool. It's a vinyl line pool, about 20,000 gallons here in Colorado Springs, and I've been absolutely happy with it. So let's take a look and see what we got here. So I keep my unit locked up here in this cabinet. It's something that I made just for the robot. I figure, you know, it's outside. The thing costs nearly $1,300, so I'm not going to leave it out where somebody can just walk away with it. And the instructions just say that you should keep it out of the sun when it's not in use. So I didn't want it to, you know, be exposed, and you don't want the power supply to get wet or to get rained on or anything like that. So I pretty much purchased all the options with it. I got this caddy and the remote control. I'll go over those a little bit later, but I definitely would recommend the caddy. The remote control, probably a little less useful, but I'll show you that toward the end. So the caddy for you, you've got, it's going to handle your cable, and it's built specifically for the unit, and I think it keeps some of the pressure off the foam pad so that it's not just resting on it when it's not in use. Okay, a couple of the features that I really like, and some of the reasons that I purchased this unit. First of all, it's made by Maytronics. They have a pretty decent reputation in the pool cleaner industry, and it comes with a 3-year warranty. Now, a lot of the other pool cleaners out there, they usually have a 1 or 2 year warranty maybe, and a lot of them are prorated. They actually indicate the number of cycles that you can use it per season, and if you exceed that, you violate the warranty. There isn't anything like that with the Maytronics units. The Dolphin Premier is, I believe it's sold exclusively by poolexpress.com, but I'd place it somewhere in between the Dolphin Supreme M4 and the M5. The M4 doesn't have quite the same feature set that this unit does. The power supply doesn't have timers, whereas the M5 does, but the M5 also has a third brush on the bottom that this unit does not. But again, really happy with this unit. One of the other items that is, I believe it's pretty exclusive to your Dolphin line, is this swivel. This allows the cord to twist in the pool, and you know, in the almost 2 months I've been using it, I've never had a cord tangle up like I've seen on a lot of the units out there. Okay, let's take a look at a few more of the features on this unit. Starting here at the top, you've got a dual float system. The instructions indicate for this model and for this pool type, only one of them should be deployed. I believe what that does is it lets the unit tilt a little bit when it's at the surface of the pool, and this way it kind of skips along and moves along the edges when it's cleaning the top. Up here at the top, you can see you've got the top impeller, and what this unit does is it sucks the water up from the bottom through the filters and out the top, providing a downward force. This helps keep it on the bottom, and it also helps keep it up against the sides when it's climbing vertically. Moving along here to the bottom, you've got the filter access door. Here are the ports. This is where everything gets sucked up into the unit. Very simple to take this off, and then you have access to your filters. I'm running the fine filters. These are an additional purchase to the unit. I'll show you the other filters that come with the unit, but to get access to these filters, it's very easy. You just pop the clips at the top, filters come right out. It only takes a few minutes to clean and reassemble. So as I mentioned, water comes in through the access doors, up through the filters, and it fills this cavity and then out the top. Put the door back on. It's just a matter of sliding it in and attaching these yellow clips. Now we'll take a look at the power supply. Okay, power supply is very basic. You've got your power button here. You've got a clogged filter indicator on this model. So if it's sensing that there's a reduced suction, it'll show you that the filter is clogged and may indicate that you need to clean it. Down here you have a reset button to reset the clogged filter indicator. And then you've got, on this model, 3 different timers, 1, 2, or 3 hours. There's different features that each one runs. I typically run mine at 3 hours, and you've got a select button down here to select which mode you use. When you turn it on, if you don't select a mode, it'll just default to the 3-hour mode. This unit does have a timer, and it will, depending on which of the modes you set here, it'll run every day for a week, every other day, or twice a week, again, depending on your selection. Over here you've got the cable cover. Cable simply plugs in. It's a keyed port, so you just line up the keyhole here and then screw it in. Now I typically will, once I have connected, or before I connect this up, I'll walk my cable out and make sure that it doesn't have any curve or twist in it before I connect it. But it's just a connection there. You've got your power cord on the other side, and away you go. Okay, let's take a look at some of the accessories that I purchased with this unit. We'll start with the bag system. If you have large debris in the pool, you can purchase this bag system. It replaces the bottom plate. The ports, I'm not sure if they may be a little bit larger than what's on the unit right now, but it comes with this whole system here so that you can put this in the bottom of the unit, and then you have this large cavity here to fill up with large debris. I've never had to use it. Hopefully I don't. This pool stays pretty clean. This system, the bag system, and the fine filters that are in the unit right now, those were an additional $59. Your typical filters, these are the filters that are going to come with the unit. You can see they're not near as fine. It is a very fine mesh, but not like the filters that are in there now. I think these are great for everyday pickup and picking up your small debris. But I will typically run these a few days a week. After I add chemicals to the pool, I'll usually switch over to the fine filters. Like I said, I think those work really well for getting some of that undissolved pool chemical out, and they really help clarify the pool. Finally, the wireless remote. This guy here adds $69 to the price. I've used it a few times, but I typically haven't found that much use for it, so your mileage may vary. And the price of the caddy, I forgot to mention, that is $84. I highly recommend that. It's great to have a good place to store it, keep the cord managed, and I think it helps prevent damage to the bottom of the unit. That's $84, and I think it probably adds a little bit to your shipping because it adds 15 pounds to the weight. So let's get ready to put this sucker in the water. Okay, deployment of the unit is pretty simple. All you got to do is throw it in the water and let it sink, and then turn the power on. Your unit's not going to come with a GoPro, but I wanted to give you a dolphin's eye view of what it's like when the unit's cleaning. So that's recording, so here we go. Just drop it in the water, and the unit is going to fill, and it'll sink. Now, one thing I will mention, if you've got a thermometer in your pool, like I do, it's really smart to take this thing out. One day I came by and I found it had tangled itself up on this string here as it was climbing the wall, so don't forget to do that. Alright, let's go turn on the power and let's let this thing rock and roll. Powering the unit up, very simple. Simply plug it in, hit the button, and turn it on. Like I said, if you don't do anything, it's going to default to the 3-hour mode, and the robot's going to start running. So it's off. 3 hours. It's going to clean the pool. Kind of has a mind of its own. It will do whatever it thinks is necessary. According to the manufacturer, it'll actually learn the pool, so it gets smarter as it runs. But there you can see, it has no problems climbing the walls. It will climb stairs. In my pool, It usually only gets to the first step, because the second step, once it gets to that point, the top will come out of the water and it'll lose suction. So, but it does a really good job. You can see there, it is at the water line, and it'll reverse and does a great job. Didn't run this thing yesterday, so it's been about a day since the pool was cleaned, but it's a fairly clean pool, so I don't expect we'll see too much. So we'll take a look at the cleaning process in about 3 hours. Okay, so it's been about 3 hours now. The robot's done. The pool looks great. But before we pull it out, we're going to take a look here at the remote control and show you how manual operation works. Turn it on, and then it'll flash indicating that it's in manual control mode. Put it in reverse. The robot will go in reverse. There it goes. The side that the cord comes out on, with respect to the handle, that's the back. The other side is the front. Go forward. Now we'll make a right-hand turn. The robot is currently facing that direction, that's forward. To make a right-hand turn, the robot actually goes in reverse and then starts to make the turn. If I want to make a left-hand turn, the robot actually goes forward and it makes the left-hand turn. Now let's try it. Sometimes it doesn't make contact with the ground. That doesn't look very left to me. So you can see the remote control, it's a little bit finicky. That's one of my cons with the unit. And we'll come back here and get back in the screen. So that's just a basic idea of how the robot works under manual robot control. You know, I figured when I bought it, hey, I'm spending $1,200 on the robot. I'd hate for it to miss a spot and then I couldn't do anything about it, so I figured, hey, I'll pop for the spending a couple extra bucks. I'll get the remote control. It also lets you drive it to the shallow end so that you can extract the robot. You do use the cord to pull the robot out of the water. You never want to use the cord to pull it all the way out. That'll put too much tension on it. You just lift it to the surface until you can get a hold of the handle and then lift her out. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's take it out of the water and clean it up and see what we got. Okay, so it's time to pull the robot out of the water. Like I mentioned previously, you can pull the robot out of the water using the cord. That's how the instructions tell you to do it. Obviously you want to take this kind of slow so you're not putting too much stress on the connection there between the cord and the robot. I did contact the manufacturer. I was asking if it's okay to leave the robot in the pool all the time. They said it was. However, they do recommend that you pull it out daily to clean it. The manual doesn't specify, but obviously since this model, the power supply has that timer function where you can clean every day or every other day. If you leave it on, it will do that, but obviously if you take it out of the water, it's going to try and run without the water. So when extracting the unit, you just pull it by the cord until it gets up to the top and you can grab it by the handle, then use the handle to pull it out of the water. A couple tips that I've come up with in using it. If you pull it out really slowly, that can help. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of debris come out of one of the ports on the side. There's not a whole lot in here today, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Otherwise, you can kind of just do a clean and jerk, and that'll minimize the amount of debris that goes back into the pool. So let's go clean it out, see how it did. Okay, so now that, as I've showed you before, opening the unit up is just a matter of flipping those two yellow catches there, pulling out the base. Just pop the filters out, and you can see not as white as they were earlier. It's got a lot of dirt, and I've got a lot of pill bugs, and it's like a dead spider in there. Cleaning it, I just spray it off with the garden hose. You can see kind of that the water coming off is a little bit milky. That's some of those undiluted or undissolved chemicals that I'll find. Got some like grass and dead bugs there. We'll give the base a quick spray down. And then finally spray out the inside of the unit. And that's about all there is to it. Reassembly. It's quick, painless. Pop those in, snap the catches. And get that on the right side, it works a lot better. So get that in there. Let's go ahead and pop that back in. And it's ready for tomorrow. I tend to take mine out every day just so I can lock it up. Let's go ahead and put it away. So at the end of each day, I like to pull the cleaner out and put it away for the night. A couple tips that I've come across. First of all, when you're facing the unit, if you put the power cord to the left, that'll allow the floats to swing down to the front and not pinch the cable. If you put it in the other way, it's going to hold this down, and it just puts unnecessary stress on the cable. So at the end of the day, I disconnect the power cord right here, and just like in the morning when I hook it up, I like to walk the cable out. It gets all the twists out of it, and then makes coiling it that much easier. After I've walked out the cord, it's just a matter of throwing it up here. Like I said, I really like having the caddy to store everything, keeps the cord nice and tangle free. As I coil it on here, I give it a little bit of a twisting motion. That just helps the cord sit nicely. You know, the swivel works really well in the water to keep the cord from twisting, but once you're on land and you're coiling it up, you don't have that benefit, and you can see here how easily it is for the cord to get twisted. That's why I like to walk it out. It's really a bear if you try and do this without getting as much of the twist out of the cord before you throw it back here onto the caddy. But all in all, I would say I probably spend about 5 minutes maybe in the morning, or whenever I choose to put it in the water for the first time. It takes about 5 minutes to get it out and throw it in and start it up, and probably less than 10 minutes in the afternoon or evening pulling it out of the water, really just getting it back on the caddy one of the more time-consuming aspects, but 10 minutes is not bad at all considering the alternatives to vacuuming and brushing down the pool. So that's it. That's basically putting it away in a nutshell. Back to the home and lock it up. So in conclusion, very happy with my purchase with the Dolphin Premier robotic pool cleaner. Go over some of the pros and cons. No review would be complete without it. The pros, the unit works really well. Couldn't be happier with the way that it cleans the pool. Goes all the way up the sides, and it just takes care of everything for me. The unit itself is really easy to clean. I don't have to do any scrubbing. This is a rental house. The owner told me that he and his wife usually spend about an hour a day coming out here using the brush to scrub down the sides of the pool to prevent algae growth. And then of course they have the vacuum that they by hand have to put in the pool and run on a daily basis. So I don't have to do any of that. They were spending an hour a day. I spend about 15 minutes total getting everything done. And then although this is the first year I've been in this house, I don't have anything to compare it to. Pretty universally people will tell you that because the pool robot does filtering of the water besides the pool system itself, you usually save about 50% in chemical costs. I have had, in these 2 months, I have had no algae growth whatsoever on this pool. I just check my chemicals once a week and add as necessary. Some of the cons, I would say the price, you know, $1,300 is no small amount of money. However, that's pretty average for what you're going to look at in a pool cleaner, especially something with a 3-year warranty. So it's a lot of money, but to get into the pool robot arena, you're going to spend some money. And the only other con I have is that remote control. It's a little bit finicky to use. I don't use it near as much as I thought I would, so you may want to pass on that depending on your budget and your different needs, and maybe if you have a tricky spot in the pool that it doesn't hit, you would wish that you have it. So otherwise, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed. I know this is a rather lengthy review, but I wanted to make it because I didn't see a whole lot out there when I was trying to make my purchase decision. So hope you enjoyed, and take care.